How's your morning going, by the way?
It's busy, but it's good.
Good, good. You guys heading out soon, right?
Yeah, I'm going to the Australian Open tennis today. I've lived in Melbourne my whole life and have never been. So
There you go. Well, that's
yeah.
fun. Okay, well, we are live in the group now, so this is gonna work actually. So, oh sheesh. Oh, I need to turn my volume off on the Facebook. There we go. Awesome. Well, we are live, everyone. Really excited to have Sarah on here today, and we got all the technical issues solved. So here, I'm just going to quickly invite everyone. Guys, like I said before, if you're catching the replay, go ahead and comment that down below in the chat so we all know who was able to check this out. And let's get this rocking and rolling. So Sarah, let's introduce yourself to the whole group. Just basically tell people who you are, where you're from, what you do, etc.
Well, my name's Sarah. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I am an online fitness and nutrition coach. I specialize in women's fitness and flexible dieting.
Awesome, awesome. So now I want you to share with people, the first question that I always ask on these interviews is, I want you to share with people where your business was at before CCI, because the reason I want that to be the first question is because a lot of people who are in this group, in our free group, Online Coaches Uprising, are starting their businesses, are wanting to take it full-time at some point. And so let's start with where things are at, I guess about 4 months ago. Let's just start there.
Yeah, so I was working at a gym as a personal trainer, and I was coaching women online part-time. So I had about 15 clients, and I was generating about 4,000 a month revenue on the side part-time. Given that I live in Melbourne, Australia, as of last year, Melbourne was the #1 lockdown city in the world. So we spent a lot of time at home, and it basically meant that I could no longer work at the gym. And last year I spent 6 months out of work in the actual gyms. So going online full-time was basically the only option with living in Australia dealing with COVID.
Yeah, totally. And Australia is pretty creative with the whole pandemic. Are they starting to open it up? I've heard rumors.
Yeah, we are. We're definitely opening up now. The coast that I live on, the east coast of Australia, is definitely open. The west coast of Australia is still closed. Right. And that's just for protection, but we are definitely still in the very big, it's a matter of time at the moment with COVID until it hits, but we're living more freely now, which is really important, but the online space is still very, very big.
Totally, for sure. No, that's good to hear. And I mean, guys, all of you or girls who are watching this, how many of you are in that kind of similar position to where Sarah is at, as far as wanting to take it online, want to be full-time kind of self-sufficient? Comment down below. Just comment down below, actually, me in all caps, if that's you. I want to know who all watching this today is wanting to be in that same boat, wanting to make this a full-time thing. Now, I know when we chatted, Sarah, there was a couple of different, obviously, fears about going all in online. What would you say were some of the main things holding you back from actually seeing it as a reality? Like, did it just seem like a bit of a fantasy? Did it just seem like it would be too much work? Walk me through a little bit of like where your head was at before we actually pulled the trigger on this.
So I think the biggest realization for me was the amount that I was working in the gyms, and I didn't realize it was creeping up on me until lockdown hit. I was getting up at 4 a.m., working till about 10:30, and then going back at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and working till 9:30, and then getting up at 4 a.m. the next day as a personal trainer. When lockdown hit, I realized that was absolutely no way to live, and it's definitely not something I wanted to continue on. Like, now being in my 30s, I wanted much more of a work-life balance, but I had just no idea how to scale my business. I was very frightened of having the sole responsibility of my income at 30 be on me. There's a lot to be said about knowing what your money, what your paycheck is going to be week to week, and making sure that that's going to come into your bank account, know that your bills are paid, and all you have to do is show up to your job. Having all of that pressure put on you that, no, it's now absolutely 100% up to you to show up, generate the income, and also just the self-belief that I could do it. That was probably the biggest fear.
Totally, for sure. No, I feel like yeah, as much as you might have the right situation and the right strategies, you have to, at the end of the day, absolutely believe you can do it, or else, honestly, that's why most people, I think, don't take the leap, because they've never actually believed that they could do it or visualize themselves doing it. So, what then did cause you to do it then, as far as like getting past that fear, getting past that self-belief stuff? Like, was it just like, did you just feel like enough was enough, or did you just feel like you just really wanted to do it? Like, what helped you get past it?
The definitely the not wanting to go back to 4 a.m. mornings and 9:30 nights. I was doing that week in and week out, and I was doing it Monday to Thursday night. I was never home, and I was just loving what I was already doing. Like, even though it was part-time and it wasn't filling my days, the difference in connection of knowing that I can solely help my clients the way I would like to, that passion and that drive coming from inside of me was the reason I said, like, enough was enough. And I just wanted to work for myself. The work-life balance was the driving factor, and you just kind of have to get over the self-belief that you can't do it, and yeah, put the ego aside, definitely.
100%. No, 100%. I remember when I got started, I don't think I actually believed that I could do it. Like, legitimately thinking back, I was like, I don't think I actually had the belief, but I just went after it anyways because I really wanted to, and I mean, also wanted to help people and all that kind of
Absolutely.
stuff. And if you guys are watching this, if that resonates with you, let us know. Hit me some hearts on the side if you're in the same boat as far as being like, I really want to do it, but I sometimes struggle with believing it. Because I think I don't know any entrepreneurs that have done really well that just started with complete trust in themselves. Maybe there are some crazy immortal human beings, but definitely not me. So then we got connected. Oh,
yeah. I remember really, really checking in with myself during lockdown. And I remember saying to myself and to my partner, actually, if I look forward 5 years into my life, is this the way I want to be living? And the answer was just absolutely not. Like, I can't live like this. I don't want to see myself here in 5 years. And then I guess the question from here is, well, what are you going to do about it? And yeah, that's when I reached out to you.
There we go. We got connected. And I think, did we get connected kind of through someone else who had worked with us before?
Yeah, so I'd seen a couple of Australian coaches who had worked with you and saw their success and just thought, well, if they can do it and that's the route that they went down, why can't I do it? And I was thinking about it this morning, actually. I was pretty demanding when I messaged you. I was like, yeah. I've looked at your available calls and none of them suit me. Like, I need to get this started now.
Yeah, that was really funny. We made it work. I was like,
yeah.
I think this girl really wants to make it happen. So
yeah,
we made it work. I like to have my boundaries, but I also like to make shit work. So
it's hard with the time difference, but when you're sitting in lockdown and you can see that time ticking over and you're wasting your days. I just wanted to really focus in.
100%. No, I get that. I really do. So we got connected, and I'm actually curious. Like, I always love to ask the question, like, why did you actually decide to pull the trigger? Obviously, the investment in CCI, it's not small. It's not just a couple $100. Like, it's a fairly decent investment. Yeah. Why did you decide to do it actually?
It was a huge thing for me because I have a lot of money, like scarcity issues. Like, I don't spend money on anything. And you know, when I heard what the investment was, and then I had to transfer that into Australian dollars.
Yes.
I was like, okay. But the big thing in investing, and what I tell all of my clients as well for investing in me, is if you don't invest in something, you don't show up. You don't get anything out of something that you don't have anything to lose. So I needed to invest that money to make sure that I showed up and make sure that I did the work. And I actually had somebody supporting me saying, what are you doing today? How did that week go? And if I have put in that amount of money, there's absolutely no way that I'm not going to make sure that I make that worthwhile. Yeah. So it wasn't even a big thought that I had of like, I can't spend that money. I don't like have that money. It was, if you do this, you know, you're going to do all of the work that you need to do to get to where you want to go. Otherwise it's just a waste.
100%. No. And that's, I mean, one of the kind of the cheesy sayings online is like, what you pay for, you pay attention to, right?
100%.
And it totally is the case. And I mean, that's I think that's why investing is scary, because you know that if you do it, that means you have to do a lot of things. things, right?
Yes, exactly.
It means you have to, whether it's evolving as a human, doing more work, or learning things and being okay with actually sucking at things or whatever it is, it requires that change. And I think that's why it's scary, right? Even, I mean, some people are simply scared about the financial piece, but I think a lot of people are more so scared about what it's going to mean if I do it, right?
Exactly. And you can't hide anymore. If you're investing that money, you can't be like, oh, well, and I noticed that even like with my own coaching, like when I came to you, I was definitely not charging anywhere near enough.
Yeah.
And now that I am charging the worth of my program, you see the difference in the clients. You see that they actually are committed. And that's the difference when you invest in something, you've got something to lose.
100%. Yeah, 100%. No, and that's, I feel like a lot of people, like when they come into business, they kind of want it to be like this easy, flowy thing. But business, like there's risk to it. Like it's gonna take actually putting yourself out there, actually getting help, actually getting support to make it happen. And that's part of the reason I'm in the game is I want it to be easier for people. And I mean, let's dive into a little bit of some of the results you got, because I think you were a little bit surprised, I think would be the right word. So walk people through a little bit of like, I mean, yeah, we got some fast results, but also like we got some decent results.
Yeah, we got very, very decent results. So I quit my full-time job, I think 6 weeks into the program. In 4 weeks, I dropped down to, I told them I was only going to be coming back part-time, not full-time. And then a week into part-time, I was like, I can't do this. I can't handle both. So I was able to resign from my full-time job within 6 weeks of working within CCI, which was just unfathomable to me. I couldn't believe it. It was shocking. Yeah, and in the first week of the program, I did the loop method, and I secured, I think, 15 to 20 spots from there. So everything kind of just took off straight away. And I think because I had made a great base for people to get to know me on my Instagram page and to put a really real representation of who I was out there, as soon as I learned how to incorporate the loop method into generating that into actual paying clients, that's where the difference was made. And like you said, I had a great result out, off the bat with the loop method. But when I was further into the program, I think 10 or so weeks, I decided to do a Black Friday deal. And I think I brought on maybe 3 clients from the Black Friday deal. But what actually happened from that instead was I had 11 re-signs from my current clients with the Black Friday deal. So client retention was huge midway through the program as well. So
totally,
that was a lot. Yeah.
And that, I mean, retention just makes your life way easier, right? Because most people are always chasing new, but it's basically, I always explain it's like water's going into the top of the cup, but it's coming out just as fast. It's very hard to build anything at that point, right? You want people to be sticking around long term, which creates an incredible business. And I know a couple of people were probably curious, like, and definitely share some of the details. Like, what are the strategies maybe that you were taught in CCI? I know you're working with our specialist Cassie in the program. What were some, whether it was strategy pieces, mindset pieces, sales pieces, marketing, whatever it was, what were some, maybe some like tangible tactics that have been working really well for you that you could share with other people who are kind of along that same journey that you went on?
Definitely when I first started, it was the growth of my page, bringing new people. I solely operate on Instagram and I don't do any paid marketing or anything like that at this point. So it was bringing in new followers to my page, and Cassie had me, following my clients followers. So like-minded people and people who were going to be interested in the same things as my current clients, because they know their friends are training hard and eating well, and they want to know what they're doing to get great results. So it was building my follower base and engaging with those followers. That was huge. The engagement of making sure that I was creating a community and making sure that people understood that I was someone that they could talk to and get information from. The value pieces really, really took off. And it wasn't necessarily just getting value pieces out to my Instagram. It was the engagement that when people were responding to polls saying they wanted an engagement piece, me messaging them and having an in-depth conversation with them about who they were and what their goals were. I think Instagram has a huge persona of who shows up on their stories, and it makes you kind of not approachable. because you're someone who has a profile. So reaching out and having that discussion of I'm here to help really, really did make that difference. And Cassie really made that clear that that was necessary to do, to engage with all of the new followers, show up on your stories every day, have your stories be interactive so that you can get people showing you that they're interested. And then in terms of sales, it was, you know, really pinpointing the pain points that people have when they talk to you. And it's about showing them how your program can benefit those pain points. It's not about cold, hard selling in terms of this is what I have and you need it. It's about what can I do to help you in order of what you're struggling in.
Yeah, I love that. No, a couple of really great pieces there. I mean, number one, audience growth. Like at the end of the day, like you can sell to obviously your current audience, but if you want to grow faster, you want to be selling to the current and be growing a new one so that you always have those fresh eyes coming in. And the other 2 points that I really like, number one, just heartfelt sales. You don't have to be salesy if you're actually just coming and seeing how can I help, how can I serve. I think that's such a big difference, especially in I would say it's like the new online economy where they've been sold to already. They're kind of leery of sales and just learning how to sell from a heart-centered perspective where people actually feel cared for because you actually care about them.
Yeah.
And then the third piece I love is that those engaging pieces or the value pieces where you can draw people out so that you can actually go deep, right? And I think that's another big piece. A lot of people want this business that basically operates where they don't have to talk to people, or they're like, I just want to post content, but people want to engage with you, right? People want to actually ask you questions and actually share with you things because they're going through things and you're that person. So these are all great pointers. If you guys have any other questions that you want Sarah to answer, you definitely can put them in the comments down below. But last question I have for you today, Sarah. Obviously, there's a lot of people in this group who've thought of hiring us, and just like you, maybe they've not chatted with us, or maybe they have chatted with us and they've been like, okay, the investment's pretty high. I mean, and actually, I don't even want you to necessarily just speak to your experience on the back end with Cassie. Speak to how you were cared for one-on-one. Like, what's the program actually like in CCI on the back end, behind me, the face, behind me, the marketing, behind the ads, the emails? What is the program actually like? How do you actually feel when you're in the program?
I have absolutely adored working with Cassie. Every time I speak to her, like once a week on Zoom, like face to face, which is what I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting an hour call with a coach every single week. She cares. It's like talking to a friend, and she wants to hear what I'm doing. She wants to hear how well it's going. She wants to hear what I'm struggling with. But I think the main thing last year, when everything did take off really, really well, I came onto a call, and like I remember this one specifically because Cassie was like, are you okay? And I was like, oh, I'm so tired. And she was like, you're burning out. Like, this is like, you're doing a lot, you're doing extremely well, but it's too much. And it was really, really flagged that burnout was an issue, and looking into how I could take that load off and how I could do things in a better way to save myself. And like, I came into this for a work-life balance. So making sure that I still get that even though running my own business. So looking at things like getting a VA, I now have a co-coach who has 15 clients, and that's only happened this month alone. Wow. So yeah, so that's amazing as well. And having Cassie to bounce ideas off as well. Like, I have contact with her every day. Well, I don't message her every day, but I can if I want to. And you know, I'm constantly saying to her, I'm thinking about doing this year, and I'm thinking about doing this year. And then also telling her my wins and having someone actually really care that I'm doing well has been incredible. And I just think that I definitely know 100% if I hadn't have joined CCI, I would not be working for myself. I would never have been doing as well as I was doing. If I was working for myself, I wouldn't be going this well. And I don't have any fear left in me that I can do this now for as long as I want to. Like, I know they always say the first 3 years in business are the hardest, and that you're going to struggle and that you'll have months where you don't make any money. And I'm just waiting for that to happen.
Exactly. I mean, if this is the worst, then that's pretty good.
Yeah, bring on 5 years time. I can only see it getting better.
And I love, that's the biggest piece. I mean, I'm so proud of you, but I'm proud that you believe in yourself, right? You put a lot in, and now you're getting a lot out of it, right?
Absolutely.
So proud of that. And we do have one question from the comments. It's more of a granular question. So Paris was asking, what do you include in your programs for your clients? Like, is it the most as same as most trainers? Are you charging more because your mind has shifted? She just wanted a little bit of, some info on that.
Absolutely. So to give you a bit of a background, I've been a flexible diet and macro tracking, the nutrition side of things I've had for 10 years. I've only been a personal trainer for 18 months. So yeah, I've always resistance trained. So I have that experience and I have that background, but education wise, I've only had for 18 months. During CCI, Cassie helped me develop my program to a 12-week program that I charge obviously a base amount for. It's actually really, really interesting. I started my program a lot more involved than it was, and that's when the burnout started to happen. I've actually pulled back from there and I charge more. So it's all about the I guess the attention and the dedication and the care I give to my clients that makes them want to stay with me and that makes them feel like the difference. Anybody can write up a flexible dieting plan. Anybody who is qualified can write a workout session, but it's about the actual care and the attention and the support that I give my clients that makes them stay with me and makes them enjoy working with me. I give them access to talk to me whenever they need to. And I think the biggest piece that I've taken away from coaching is that you need to be the coach you wish you had 5 years ago. So you need to make sure that you are helping people in the way that you needed help when you were learning this stuff, and that you give them the support to make sure that they know what they're doing. I don't go above and beyond. I don't do meal plans. I don't do like crazy things like that, or anything that takes up a heap of my time. Someone reached out to me about CCI and she was like, you must work a lot. And I was like, I actually work I work 25 to 30 hours a week. I don't work weekends. I'm going to the tennis today with my partner and it's Tuesday. Like,
that's a big thing we teach you, right? Is like, it's great to have a big business, make a lot of money, but if you don't actually enjoy your life and you're burning out, it's actually not worth the money, right? That is just a very stressful, high-paying job. So I just love, man, I could go on this forever. We do need to end this because apparently I need to jump on another call, which sadly will need to happen. But if you guys have any other questions, you can keep on commenting down below in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, do that. Sarah is a part of this group, so she afterwards, if there's more questions, I can tag her in there and she can answer as well. But Sarah, thank you so much for jumping on here. I know you are heading out to do some fun stuff today.
For a little bit more work.
And I can't wait to see where things are at in a little bit. I know obviously you're in your second round here at CCI, and so I can't wait to see, where we can take things. And so
the growth has been amazing already.
Yeah. Well, I'm so proud of you. I'm going to let you go enjoy your day. And you guys that are watching, have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll be all connecting soon.
Thanks. Bye.
Awesome. Bye for now, guys.